Chapter 26. Oh My God. There had been a big meeting at the FBI's Washington field office to try to figure out the voice on the tape, but it reached no conclusion. Afterwards, Bob King and Jim Milburn, the FBI's two veteran Soviet analysts, were walking back together to headquarters. The more he looked at the case, Milburn said, the more he thought the mole worked for the FBI, not the CIA. Not only that, Milburn concluded from the contents of the file that the mole served in an FBI analytical unit, not one of the operational divisions. And most of the material in the file dealt with the Soviets. Jim suddenly wrote on a tiny piece of paper, "Hansen?" King firmly disagreed. I said, "There's just no way. He has a wife and kids, and he's more Catholic than the Pope. Hansen just did not fit the profile of a mole. I'd met his family and several of his children. I'd been to his house." The two analysts had come to know Hansen well when he supervised the mole study the three had conducted to see if older FBI cases might provide clues to the current traitor. Hansen did seem notably religious. The analysts knew he slipped off to Mass almost every day. Back at headquarters after the short walk from the field office, King and Milburn adjourned to their office in the vault, a V-shaped, windowless storage room on the fourth floor that had been converted to a secure office. The door could only be opened by a digital combination lock. Sensitive materials were kept in a safe inside the vault, and mole investigations were run there. It was out of the way, on an inside corridor, which had the added advantage of shielding it from the questions of other counterintelligence agents curious about what was going on in the vault. The two analysts talked over what was known so far. The voice on the tape was still a mystery. Mr. Pym did not know his identity, but had offered some additional fragments. Before he brought out the file from Moscow, King said, he had already told us some things, tidbits that were in it. One tidbit only added to the puzzle. When the Russians asked for the name of someone whom they could approach as a possible recruitment, the mole offered up the name of Jack Hoshauer. The name initially did not ring a bell with either analyst. "Who is Jack Hoshauer?" Milburn asked. King thought back to the time that he and Milburn had worked on the study of past efforts to penetrate the FBI. 12 years earlier, for several months in 1988, the two analysts and their supervisor had worked on the mole study in room 4835, a cramped cubicle at headquarters. The supervisor was Robert Hansen. Hansen had often referred to his friend Jack from Germany, King remembered. He was always talking about Jack from Germany. At some point he must have mentioned Jack's last name. King had also seen the report that Hoshauer's name had been offered by the mole as someone the KGB might try to recruit. At the time, Jack Hoshauer was married and living in Germany. He had commanded an air infantry company in Vietnam, served with the Special Forces in Germany for 3 years, and then as a military attaché in the American Embassy in Bonn. He retired from the service in 1994. But none of that explained why an obscure, retired Army lieutenant colonel had been singled out by the mole. In the course of their discussion about Hoshauer, and when Milburn asked, "Who is Jack Hoshauer?" the answer emerged. King realized now that Jack from Germany and Jack Hoshauer were the same person. King remembered the electric moment when the truth dawned on both of them. In unison we said, "Oh my God." The two analysts had a copy of the tape in the vault. Quickly they spun the dial on the old-fashioned Mosler safe, pulled out the tape, and listened to it again. Recognizing the voice before had been extremely difficult, because the tape was only 2 minutes long, and the mole whispered some of the time. Without any context, identifying one voice from what might be tens of thousands was challenging. Moreover, on the tape, the mole spoke only 41 words. along with several grunts and ahas. But the last time Milburn and King heard the tape, they had not figured out who Jack Hoshauer was. It made their task of voice recognition exponentially easier. Now they knew the voice on the tape. "That's Hanson," King said.